Sup everybody, it's Pete Manzinelli, and I'm here to help you win your NCAA bracket pool challenge thing. For those of you who don't know me, I'm like the guy who helped you win the Super Bowl coin toss prop bet in overtimes, and I also helped you win the Oscar pool before they announced that Moonlight one. But anyways, all season longs, I've been in the lab, dude, crunching numbers to try to crack the code to making a perfect bracket, dude, and I've finally done it, which is why I'm pleased to announce the debut of my proprietary March Madness college basketball rankings. Can I get a drum roll, please? ManzPom. ManzPom, baby. Now, for those of you wondering, what's ManzPom? Well, let me explain. At ManzPom, we use a groundbreaking methodology. To begin, I first look at how many fraternities and how many sororities a tournament team school has using the site GreekRank.com. Now, this is fairly intuitive, but if you're asking why, let me tell you. The more Greek life on a campus, that's the better parties. That means more ladies looking to get drunk, which means the top recruits are flocking to these schools, which make them powerhouses in both debauchery and hoops. Now, the Power Four using this criteria are Purdue's, Michigan's, Virginia Tech's, and Michigan State's, all of which have 63 or more combined frats and sororities on their campus. And when I look at where these schools are at, it's almost like there's nothing to do in the Midwest other than organize things like golf pros and tennis hose events. Now, the loser three using this criteria. This is Providence, this is Notre Dame's, and this is Gonzaga's. Now, these are the only three schools in the tournament without a single fraternity or sorority because they'd prefer you to get blackout drunk in a less formal setting because of the Virgin Mary. Now, the second variable I'm looking at, in conjunction with the frats and the sororities data, is how many major NCAA violations and infractions a tournament team's university has committed in the past 10 years. And I did this by using a study by the site Inside Higher Ed. Now, this includes things like academic fraud, improper recruiting, impermissible text messages, etc., etc. And the reason for this is, logically, if a university is committing violations for recruiting guys, it means they are cheating and willing to stop at nothing to field the best possible basketball teams so they can win the NCAA tournaments. So, a few fun facts about all these violators. Nearly 1/3 of the entire field, that's 23 universities, has committed major violations of NCAA rules over the past 10 years. Very impressive. And there are two tournament teams who have each committed multiple violations. Let's call them the bracket bad boys, you know what I mean? And that is Texas Southern and West Virginia. Nice work, guys. Now that I've compiled all of this data, I'm using a simple Monte Carlo Pythagorean regression calculation where I take the total number of frats and sororities at the school and then multiply it by either 2 or 3 if the school has one or multiple violations in the past 10 years. And that number gives us the ManzPom power rankings for each tournament team, which will help you fill out your bracket. So just for an examples, dude, I don't mean to mansplain, but Arizona has 36 fraternities, right? They've got 15 sororities. So that's 51 total Greek lives, right? And they also were nailed in 2010 for an improper recruiting infraction. So we're going to multiply 51 by 2 using that Pythagorean regression Monte Carlo. And that gives us 102 points in the ManzPom index for Arizona's. Got it? Good. So, now that we got the ManzPom numbers for each team, let's take a look at the bracket. So, a couple major matchups of note here, okay? You're going to notice South Dakota State is going to shock the world, dude. They're going to upset Gonzaga's in the first round. Gonzaga has 0 points, dude. 0. No sororities, no frats, no violations, dude. That's not going to get you far in this tournament. But even with their pathetic showing, dude, the West is pretty loaded, dude. There's 3 teams with 100+ ManzPom points. That's Arizona's, that's Florida State's, and that's West Virginia's. And I should also point out in the West, dude, Princeton upsets Notre Dame in the saddest matchup of the tourney, dude. 6-0, dude. Come on, Notre Dame's also like Gonzaga, zeros across the board. Otherwise, a lot of this tournament, dude, it's kind of boring, dude. You look at the South Regional, dude. North Carolina leads the way. Not much exciting going on in there. We look up at like the Midwest, dude. You notice the juggernaut Purdue and Iowa State with a huge matchup in the second round, dude. 138 points versus 100, dude. And one other thing to note is from the playing games, dude. USC's, dude, they crush with 92 points, and they're going to make a deep run in the East. So now that the table's been set, dude, let's fill out our brackets real quickly here. And you'll notice as the teams pile up and we move through here, we have like a very flow-rider Final Four, dude. We got the Floridas versus the Florida States on one side. And then on the other side, dude, we got the juggernaut Purdue's and the former Michael Jordans, the UNCs. And as you saw spoiled in like my ManzPom rankings, dude, Purdue gets that one whining moment, dude, and takes it down on behalf of their 69 Greek fraternities and sororities. Very nice, 69, dude. And of course, their multiplier for academic fraud and unethical conduct. So there you have it. Feel free to use this ManzPom rankings to like crush your pools. And as always, get paid, get laid, go Boilermakers.